Welcome to Founders Future, a podcast powered by Closers.io, where we explore the journeys of innovative entrepreneurs and the road ahead for them and their companies. I'm your host, Milan Kohut, and in each episode, we uncover the stories behind impactful ventures, the challenges faced, the lessons learned, and the strategies fueling future growth. Today, I'm absolutely thrilled to be joined by Bethany Tapp, the founder of Tap Into Fitness LLC, specializing in one-on-one fitness coaching focused on physical transformations and cultivating a positive mindset and healthy habits. Her work uniquely blends personalized fitness with mindset shifts, aiming to empower clients to achieve lasting wellness and confidence. With that being said, Bethany, let me officially welcome you to Founders Future.
Thanks for having me on the show, Milan. Appreciate it.
I'm excited to have you, Bethany. Awesome. Let's dive in. With every single one of my guests, I always like to take it way back. So go ahead and take us back in time before you even had your practice, your company. What were you doing before? And then eventually, what motivated you to start the business?
So I was actually the GM of a previous startup company, and I was grinding myself basically to the ground. I had kept track for a 5-month time period. I had worked 88 hours a week, nothing less. And I realized that I was having terrible migraines.
Mm.
And on top of that, it would be about like 4:30 in the afternoon. And like, in addition to my head starting to pound at that about, again, this is like 4:30. And so my head would start pounding, and then I just felt like I could not keep myself awake. And like that just wasn't acceptable for what I was having to manage and deal with at the time. Because basically, I helped the owner of this company start this company from literally zero. And so there's tons of stuff to do, as I'm sure you understand, or maybe have a little bit of experience with. But again, this is a brick and mortar company. And yeah, there was just, it was, it was full of chaos. Let me just put it that way kindly. Anyway, I am very like determined. And so I was like, you know what? I'm just going to stick it out, keep pushing hard. Let's get the first clients happy, get some customer reviews, and then maybe I'll like hand things over to somebody else. Because honestly, so prior to managing that company, I actually was managed several other companies in addition to that. So I actually have a lot of behind the scenes business experience besides what I'm doing today, and I'll get to that at another point here soon. So, with that being said, I was working 88 hours a week repeatedly for about 5 months. I actually still have the Excel sheets where I was keeping track of my work hours because I wanted to keep that as I'm never going to do that again. The thing.
That's a strong reminder.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And so, with that being said, this is pretty serious. But so one Friday morning, I was supposed to have a 6 a.m. meeting with the owner of this company on a Friday morning. Okay. 6 a.m. meeting. And I wake up early, getting ready for the day, and I literally pass out in my bedroom. I was trying to walk out of the bedroom. I pass out, and I was literally like half an inch away from smashing my head open on my bed frame. And I woke up about 3 hours later. Again, I had been passed out for 3 hours at the time. I wake up and my head was just pounding. So, as you recall, I had been experiencing some just terrible migraines. I wasn't telling anyone about this. I was just trying to keep things going. That was my main course of action, keep things going. And so I wake up, try to get myself off the floor, try to find my phone to see try to tell the owner, hey, sorry about this. I'm having some health issues, whatever. I could barely even get to my phone. Finally, when I did, I had 70 missed calls, text messages. It was pretty crazy. And I was like, you know what? I can't talk to the owner yet. So I actually called a former kind of mentor of mine, an older woman. And from a previous company I worked at, I got to be pretty close with her. And I wanted her opinion about what I should do. Should I try to show up to work? Should I just call in? Because mind you, this whole time from when I first took over as a GM, I had never missed a day. Like, again, I was all about keep things going. That was like the main
That
thing in my
that's a
mind.
proper like hustle culture right there.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So this woman is like, no, you cannot go to work today. You need to get yourself to the ER. Something is like very wrong with you
Mhm.
health wise. And I was living by myself at the time. And because I had been passed out for so long, I was actually nervous to drive. because I was like, I didn't live super close to where the nearest hospital was. And I was like, man, am I going to even be able to drive myself there safely? Anyway, long story short, I eventually made it to the ER, never even bothered to contact the owner of the company. I just knew I needed some help, like majorly bad. Get admitted to the ER. Again, they literally admit me like right away. They're like, this is serious. We have to do a bunch of tests, whatever. And long story short, I was told I had to resign from my job that day. My body was shutting down. If I didn't stop, I was basically probably going to eventually pass away, which would be terrible. No one ever wants to hear those words. That was like, I clearly pushed myself to the limit and it was really bad. Long story short, I actually had to spend the night in the ER that day. So that was a Friday. Fast forward to Saturday, they tell me that I have to have all these additional health checkups, like for my entire body, basically. And then they made me resign that day before they discharged me from my hotel, or excuse me, hospital bed. And that was, I never want to experience that again. That was really awful.
Yeah.
And in addition to that, when they finally released me, I had to be on 5 weeks of bed rest and living by yourself. Like that was definitely a major challenge. So during that time, again, I after that Friday, I never returned to work. Was never the GM of the company again. Like I was out. My body forced me out. And so that terrible experience during the time of being on bed rest, I had different people that I knew reach out to me like, what's going on? Haven't seen you in weeks, blah, blah, blah. And unfortunately, I'm dealing with some serious health things. I can't work right now. I'll figure something out. I'm smart, whatever. And so during that time is actually when I decided that I was gonna start my own company.
Yeah.
And with that being said, the biggest thing I knew that I still wanted, so the previous company I was a GM for, I was working with people. And so I knew I wanted to do some sort of service-based company just because I really enjoy the relationship building, which is a huge part of business.
Mhm.
And so during that time, that's when I decided that I'm going to start a business, my own business. I'm never working 88 hours a week again. And the main thing behind my business is I have to stay healthy, and so that I can continue helping others along their own health and wellness journey. And
I'm sorry to cut you off, but it's very interesting that without this happening, you would probably never get to the point where you're at right now. Most likely. And even if you got there, you wouldn't be able to relate to your clients at this point on the level that you relate to them right now. So it's scary how this kind of hustle culture became the part of our lives in 2025 and beyond. But it's sad that usually people wait until it's way too late. Yeah. Yeah. Awesome. Bethany, I'm going to be respectful of your time here. We're going to switch to what your business looks like today. So we want to understand everything from who is your absolute ideal customer to what it actually looks like to work with you. So the way I love to put it is, who do you help? What do you help them with?
all right, I help both men and women, mostly business owners, but I also say high achieving career driven professionals as well. So you don't necessarily have to be a business owner, but that tends to be a lot of the types of people that I tend to attract into my business. And I help them get fit, whether that's on a cardiovascular basis, strength, flexibility basis. Ultimately, the goal is to change their habits, change their mindset, and so that they can continue living a healthy lifestyle long term and keep killing it in their career or business lives.
Without getting into those kind of situations that you went through.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yes.
got that. Now, Bethany, now that we understand who it is that you're actually looking to help, walk us through your core offers and what it actually looks like. What is the structure? What is the frequency of working with you? Tell us everything.
Okay, yeah. Currently, I anyone new that comes to work with me generally, if you want the basically my ultimate transformation package, you get a customized fitness routine, which I customize as to how many days you can make fitness work into your life. So I'm not doing some cookie cutter 5 day, 7 day, 3 day. It has to work for you. And I base it on what their specific goals are, which a lot of people don't do. I do also want to mention I have a background in exercise science and exercise physiology. So I know a lot about training and how the body changes in regards to exercise and following a fitness routine. And so with that ultimate transformation package, like I said, you get a customized training plan, usually start out with 8 weeks to 12 weeks in general. I can easily tweak it as we go along. So I'm giving you stuff to do outside of meeting with me. And then typically most clients tend to meet with me once a week. Again, you can come to me, ask me any questions that you have during our time together. I may also take you through some specific tweaks on exercise technique or mindset shifts you might need to make to help you make sure you're staying on the straight, narrow path of completing your workouts and also completing the necessary health habits to keep you feeling your best. So the ultimate transformation package, that's one thing. Another thing I offer is if you just want basic workout guidance, I also offer that's a little bit a step down. I'm not giving you anything outside of meeting with me. It's just meeting with me and you're done and that's it. So that's a little bit, I would say, less hands-on. And some people tend to like that, people that they just want in, out, and on their merry way for the rest of their day. Also, I do offer an on-demand subscription, and mostly here I offer Pilates, strength, and core workouts, and I follow series. So it'll be like a 6-week series, 8-week series, and then I try to offer a sort of a challenge to go along with it where I'll tend to do like a giveaway prize at the end of the workout series. And it's one of those things where I pre-program all the workouts, I film the workouts, and then you can just do it at your own and you can access those right from my website, which is pretty convenient. I also want to mention I work with clients all over the US. So yes.
Yeah. Awesome. So basically everything that you do at this point is virtual. These are
Yes,
all gotcha.
everything is. Yes.
Gotcha.
Yep.
With that being said, Bethany, let's switch to the back end side of the business for a second. You already know this. We're in Closers.io. We're all about sales, marketing, strategies, operations, all that good stuff. So when it comes to client acquisition, what are you currently doing in order to bring in new clients?
I would say quite a few things. I've streamlined like where I'm at on like the online space. I found that Instagram and Substack, I've gotten pretty quality leads from there. Other platforms, not as much. I think at the end of the day, it comes to finding people that are committed. I'm a person, if I say I'm going to do something, I do it. And I want to work with people that kind of have that same mindset about them as well. So having a social media presence, I don't think you can necessarily just rely on that, but that is helpful. I'm also in several different networking groups, which that's like online networking groups, I want to say. And I've gotten some quality leads from being a part of those. And I think that in addition to that, I also have a pretty good network. I just happen to be lucky where, like I said, I managed previous companies. And so I had a pretty good like network of people before I went to start my own company. And so I think that has definitely been a big advantage for me because like recently I had someone I totally forgot about in my network reach out to me like, hey, I like remembered you and knew that like you're really good at helping people and like I wanted to work with you. Like, do you have any openings? And I was like, oh, wow, this is super cool. And this is from someone from 5 years ago. I think it's one of those things where I'm sure you've heard this a lot, but like literally making a good first impression, showing up on time, act like you're committed, show that you're trustworthy and everything, I think is huge. Again, I want to say, I don't think you can just rely on, even if I have an online business, I don't think you can just rely on like social media marketing to bring in new leads or acquiring new clients. I think it does help, yes, but I think it comes back to being a part of different like networking groups, whether they're in person, online, and bring people to you that way. So I also want to say too, like I try to do some different community events like within the community where I live. And I've also gotten some clients that way. But the majority of people I would say is like I meet someone online, they're like, oh wow, you seem like really great and super knowledgeable and I want to work with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would definitely agree with you. It's never smart to focus only on one source. You got to be
Yeah.
dimensional. Awesome. When it comes to taking care of all of that, you're still the one working with your clients. You got to take care of your social media, network all the time. Is it like a one-woman show right now and you take care of everything, or have you already built your teams for sales and marketing?
Yeah. So right now it's mostly me. I do have a couple people that help me with some of the copywriting stuff within my business, whether that's email, marketing, social media stuff. I found that to be super helpful. Like I like that part, but I find that sometimes I can go on and on in my writing, and I like because they can make it super succinct and straight to the point, which is really important. And so I've designated some of the parts where I feel that I'm like maybe not like A+ at and gone the route. But I found that to actually be, I think a lot of people don't realize the importance of being able to write clearly and succinct, because if you think about it, someone in business has to be communicating over and over again. And you're actually writing a lot. Doesn't matter what type of business you're in. And so if your writing isn't great, it's hard to convey your message to other people that you might want to work with or you might want to help. That's what I've done. I will say this, I'm open to bring on more people, but as of now, I've really enjoyed the solopreneur thing. I do want to mention a previous company I was managing. I was managing 28 other people, which is a lot of people, and that was very intense. I'm sure you can imagine. So I have nothing against that, but at least for, again, with my goal keeping at the forefront being to keep myself healthy and well while I'm still building my business, I've tried to keep that as the forefront for big business decisions that I'm making, if that makes sense. But yeah.
Definitely. I like to see that you can actually talk to yourself about stuff like this and realize that we cannot really be experts at everything that we try to do. But yeah, it
Yeah.
definitely is important. Awesome. Bethany, let's talk about the last part of the podcast that I wanted to cover, which is the future of your company. If you think about the next 12 months, what are some of the goals, targets, revenue, milestones that you have set for yourself?
A couple things. I'm wanting to start a high performance kind of mentorship group within my business. So I work with quite a few clients up to this point where I've helped them achieve some big goals, such as hiking the entire length of the Camino de Santiago Trail, which is starts in France and finishes in Spain, which is over 650 miles. It's pretty far. I've helped clients do that. I've helped clients run their first half marathon. And these are like very busy people. So like I streamline the training plan so it again can fit into their busy lifestyle and they are still able to do these cool things. And I think that there is a lot of, whether it's men or women, doesn't matter, but I feel like a lot of the, like I say, higher career driven people, they don't understand that like the performance aspect of fitness can actually translate over to what they're doing in their business and career life. And so by offering a kind of a mentorship group, such as what I'm thinking of doing, I think that could be a huge benefit to a lot of people. And so that's what I'm looking to start up. I'm also toying with the idea, I've not done this before, but something I would like to do is to offer possibly a retreat in another country. I've never done that, but that is something I'm toying with right now. And I think that would be really cool. And like I would be showcasing, offering some sort of performance-based, wellness-based workshop in addition to just offering like a tour of the country or whatever. Yeah.
A lot of ambition, I'm hearing.
Yeah.
Yeah, good for you, Bethany. I think that you have a lot of good stuff going on. I'm gonna wish you all the best with that. Now, is there any good piece of business advice that you would leave our listeners with before we wrap it up?
Most importantly, business can get very challenging fast. And one of the best pieces of advice I can give you is find an activity, find something that helps you manage the stress, and don't have it be doom scrolling on your phone. That does not help. That creates more anxiety. What I mean is find something outside of your business, whether that's like doing yoga, doing Pilates, going outside for a walk, running, lifting weights. Find something where it gets you out of your like normal environment. And when you do that, a lot of times, I can't tell you how many times that I have found that just changing my environment and moving my body really does help alleviate a lot of stress. And when you have less stress or your body is feeling less stress, you are going to keep yourself healthy long term, which if you're in business, you're not looking at just the next 6 months. You have to think about, okay, you might in your mind be thinking the next 6 months, but ultimately you have to be able to continue going for 5 years, 10 years, because
Yeah.
I think in a lot of times in the social media sphere, It's just showing you like, oh, I did this in 6 months, or this is what I did in 3 months. And it might be cool. Are you still able to continue going 5 years down the road if you're doing all this crazy stuff, right? You want it to
Mm.
make your business sustainable. You don't just want to be like up in December and the fire is burning in June. No one wants to deal with. You might, but most people don't want to be experiencing that. So always
Yeah.
keep your health the forefront of what you're doing and find a way to relieve your business stress in a different environment are my tips.
100%. Yeah. Take it down a notch, relax, let yourself recharge the batteries, take care of yourself. And awesome. I love that. Bethany, I think this pretty much wraps up another insightful episode of Founders Future. So I just want to say a huge thank you for taking the time today and sharing your journey with us. Now, if somebody wanted to reach out, connect with you, what is the best way to contact you?
Yeah, so anyone that is interested in working with me, you can contact me at my email, B as in Bethany, Tap Into Fitness, TAPINTO fitness at gmail.com. So contact me via email, or you can also find me on Instagram at B Tap Into Fitness. So yeah, feel free to reach out. Happy to work with any high career driven professionals or any other business owners that are looking to keep yourself healthy and fit so you can keep killing it in your business long term.
Love that. Awesome. Now, for our listeners, if today's conversation inspired you as well, make sure to subscribe to Founders Future on your favorite platform. And if you're a business owner, more specifically a coach, consultant, or an agency owner, and you're looking to scale your company and really enhance your sales and marketing efforts, also visit closers.io, get in touch with our team, and see how exactly we went from zero to over 30 million per year in less than 3 years. Until then, keep on climbing, and I'll see you on the next one.